What is going on here? Hold on a second, guys. One back. One sec. The Cowboys are in the final series, and I cannot wait until we get there. Bring on the finals. Bring on the finals. I know the Cowboys didn't play tonight, but man, it's so good to be saying my North Queensland Cowboys are officially playing finals footy. Let's go, man. Let's bloody go. To everyone at the start of the season that said Cowboys won't do anything, well, stick that one right up here. Seriously. I'm thrilled, man. I'm thrilled. I want to thank the Melbourne Storm. I want to thank Craig Bellamy. I want to thank Jerome Hughes for his form. I want to thank everything to do with the Melbourne Storm today for, taking care of home field advantage and defeating the Dolphins in a very, very comfortable way. And I'm very grateful for what the Melbourne Storm have done tonight. But Melbourne Storm, you may have done us a favour tonight, and I will appreciate that because we're playing finals now officially. But you are absolutely screwed next Thursday night when the Cowboys whoop your ass 30-0. So bring on next Thursday night, man. Cowboys and Storm up there in Townsville. Looking forward to it. What a wild old Super Saturday, man. What a wild old Super Saturday, man. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. If you're a regular viewer, thank you very much for tuning in once again. I hope everyone's doing well, man. It was a great day of footy. The last two games were a bit how you going, but I've seen worse Super Saturdays than what we saw today. I'll tell you that much. I've seen much worse. Hello to the live chat. Hello, Luke. Hello, Lockie. Hello, Jason. Hello to Leo Likes Lee. G'day, Neutralizer. Tom Evans. Will Pearson. Lockie. Hello, Lockie. Hope you're well. Jason Reader, SS Storm fan, everyone that's here. Hope yous are all good. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Saturday Football Review. But before we go any further, man, I want to give a massive shout out and a massive thank you to TBC Live, guys. TBC Live, who are sponsoring this live stream. And massive shout out to TBC Live, man. I was on the app today playing while watching the footy, and it was a good time, man. If you guys haven't downloaded TBC Live, I would strongly suggest you go onto the App Store or you go onto the Google Play Store, depending on what kind of phone you got, whether it be an Android or an Apple. Make sure you guys download TBC Live. Get around them, man. You can predict the outcome of things that are going to happen during the game while you're watching it live. There's a banter chat where you can talk about the game, talk about outcomes and all sorts of stuff, man. So your favorite content creators, just like yourself, just like myself, are on there, guys. So make sure you get on the TBC Live and download the app today. But let's get into it, man. Super Saturday, man. I don't think we'll be live for too long. There isn't a whole lot to go over, except probably the first game. But the Raiders beating the Panthers in Canberra, 22 points to 18. What a result for the Raiders. What a result. This is absolutely huge. Now, the Raiders season looked like it was over. And look, it's going to be very hard for Canberra to get in the 8 now anyway. But this was such a gutsy performance, a gutsy win from the Green Machine. They played very well. Full credit to them. full credit to them. Penrith, honestly, if you look at the stats, it's absolutely insane that Penrith lost this game based off the stats. They had a lot of possession, a lot of opportunity. I think it was like the inside 20 stats were like it was all Penrith. Canberra barely had any ball. Yet the Raiders end up winning this game. What a game of footy, man. Xavier Savage was the first try scorer in this game. Weeks got one, Albert Opawade got one, and Savage got the last try of the game. And for Penrith, Luke Summerton got one from dummy half. Dane Laurie got one on the wing, and James Fisher-Harris, of all people, ended up scoring a try. Look, Penrith without Nathan Cleary and Mitch Kenny simply were not the team that we've seen from Penrith. Like, we've seen Penrith be dominant. We've seen them being very clinical this season, but without them players in the team, they're not the same sort of side. Penrith are not the same without them. So, look, man, I got to give credit where credit's due to the Raiders. They fought really hard. Their season was on the line. The Raiders are still a mathematical outside chance on playing finals. Whether they do or not remains to be seen. But great win for the Raiders, man. Now, the Raiders next week, they take on the Sydney Roosters at Allianz Stadium in a real grudge match. Bit of history there between the Roosters and the Raiders. A little bit of a modern-day rivalry, obviously. The 2019 Grand Final and then the 2020 semi-final. And there's been some very intense battles over the last, 5 to 7 years between the two sides. So that's going to be very interesting. Penrith don't usually lose 2 in a row, but they did today. So I think Penrith will be fine. But the Raiders, man, they did well to win. Now, the one thing I do want to mention about this game, excuse the French, because, look, man, I need to talk about this. How many fucking penalties did we see at the start of this game? My goodness. I think there were about 8 penalties in the opening 20 minutes of this game. So if you're going to watch the replay of Raiders and Penrith, just honestly skip the first 20 minutes. Skip the first 20 minutes. It was ridiculous the amount of penalties that we saw early on. It was ridiculous. And 6 agains, there were quite a few 6 agains. It felt like it anyway. Just one of them games, man. Just frustrating to see. But credit to Canberra, man. They scrambled really well. They defended really well. Full credit to them, man. Credit to them. My player of the game. Look, there's a few you could go with here, but I thought Xavier Savage had the game of his life, especially in defense. Did a great job on Brian To'o, and I'm gonna give Xavier Savage the player of the game. I thought he was terrific tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. Xavier Savage is my player of the game. What under the Raiders and the Panthers? Well, they can't finish as minor premiers. And the other thing I should say now is if the Roosters win tomorrow, Roosters will be second, and if the Sharks win, the Sharks will be third. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Crazy stuff. Now, on to the middle game of Super Saturday. Melbourne Storm 48, Dolphins 6. This wasn't even a game of rugby league. This was a good old-fashioned flogging. This was an absolute bloodbath from the get-go. From the bloody get-go. Now, obviously, it's disappointing for the Dolphins to get smashed like this. Obviously, if the Dragons win tomorrow, Dragons will be 2 games clear of the top 8, which will make it very hard for the Dolphins, the Broncos, the Knights to all make the finals. It'll be very hard for them all to get there. So, this was really, really bad. Now, there was a moment early in this game, I think it might have been in the first 15, 20 minutes. The Dolphins made a break. I think it was Kaufusi who ran off the ball from Isaiah Katoa. He offloads it to the Hammer. The Hammer drops the ball. If the Hammer catches that ball, the Hammer scores the first try of the game, and it would have been Dolphins 6-0. This game would have been completely different to what it ended up being. But here's the thing. When you play the Melbourne Storm, especially in Melbourne, and you have an opportunity early on to score first, and it's one of those ones where it's an offload, where all you have to do is catch the ball and put it down, you got to take your opportunities, because if you don't, a team like Melbourne will just go bang, bang, bang. All of a sudden, it's 18-0 in the space of 10 minutes, and you're going, what the hell just happened? That was this game. Dolphins should have been up 6-0, but they didn't take their chance. Melbourne just went bang, 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 and the game at halftime, it was practically over at halftime. It was pretty much over at halftime. There were tries scored by everyone in this game. Fa'alongo got 2 tries. Harry Grant got 1. Alex McDonald got a rare try. Jack Howarth got 1. Jerome Hughes crashed over. Eli Katoa crashed over. Big Nelson, Big Nas, game 200 crashed over. Good to see there. And Josh King scored the last try. And for the Dolphins, a try to Jake Averillo, but it did not matter at all. So this is the key part of the game, man. Where is it? It was literally the Hammer knock on where they absolutely bombed it. I think it might have been maybe the 10th minute, 5th minute, somewhere around that period. They should have scored. They should have bloody scored, but they didn't score. And Fa'alongo just crashed over. And then after that, look, it was 4-0, 8-0, 10-0. It was 16-0 in the space of 15 minutes. Absolutely insane. And then halftime, what was halftime? Halftime was 22-0. 22-0. Absolutely insane, man. Insane. I still can't believe that. Anyway, second half begins. Obviously, Fa'alongo scored again. 28-0. The game's well and truly over. Melbourne just go on a mission. I think they go up 30-0, and then Averillo scores. And it didn't matter. Nelson crashed over, and then Josh King scored late, which it didn't really matter. But the Melbourne Storm just going about their business, man. Going about their business, getting it done. Melbourne Storm are now officially the minor premiers. They are going to finish first. All official. Melbourne could lose their last 2 games by 30 points and it wouldn't matter. Melbourne Storm will finish first. They're the minor premiers. Fair play to them. Player of the game. Look, there's a few guys here you could go with, but I thought Jerome Hughes, again, probably going to win the Dally M. He deserves to win the Dally M. I would go as far to say Jerome Hughes has been the best player in the NRL in 2024. I would go as far to say that. He's probably the best player in the world at the moment, Jerome Hughes. He was outstanding tonight. He's my player of the game. Storm, just too good for the Dolphins. Simply too good. And the other game, the game that no one really cared about. I mean, Knights had a bit of interest because the Knights are playing for their season. Knights 36, Rabbitohs 16, down at Accor Stadium there in Sydney. It looked like a really bad crowd. South fans are going through a tough period, man. They're not playing finals, and they're just trying to get... The South Sydney Rabbitohs are just trying to get the barley, jump on holidays. They've had enough of this season, that's for sure. The Knights, on the other hand, the Knights were okay. They weren't great. Their first half was a bit scrappy, but they did enough to win. There was a period in this game where the Rabbitohs were looking really good. I think they were up 12-6. The Knights had some, the Knights were whatever, but there was one bad decision. Now, it didn't have any effect on the game because it was already 32-16 at the time, but the decision to sin bin Cameron Murray. Oh my friggin' goodness. Where do we begin with that? I think it was early on. Oh no, sorry. I think it was first half. My apologies. Yeah, first half. So it did have an impact on the game. My bad. So this game went so slow, I barely kept up with it. Now, obviously, that was a shocking decision. An absolutely shocking decision. Newcastle were leading 18-12 at the time. 36th minute, Cameron Murray gets sin bin for a forceful high tackle. He ends up in the sin bin. Go back and watch the replay. There was nothing forceful whatsoever about it. It was a disgraceful decision. And the fact that that was a sin bin and the Stephen Crichton one last night wasn't a sin bin in the Warriors-Bulldogs game just has me completely nervous for the final series in 3 weeks' time, where I am praying that no NRL team in the finals get ripped off. Oh my God. Was it a penalty? Yeah, sure. Penalty. 100%. Got no problem with that. But a sin bin, what? How? How is that a sin bin? But Stephen Crichton last night concusses Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck gets a Category 1 HIA, which automatically rules him out for 10 days anyway. So he won't be playing next week against the Sharks in the final game of the season for the Warriors. Crichton doesn't even get binned. He gets handed a one game suspension. Yet I guarantee you, Cameron Murray, he won't even get suspended for his high shot because it was the wrong call. Unbelievable how I get this wrong. Who the hell is in the bunker this weekend? My goodness. There have been some absolute bottle job, shocking, disgraceful decisions this weekend. Round 25 of the NRL will be known as the bunker stuffed up round. I am so glad the Cowboys have got the bye, because I didn't want to come on here and talk about the Cowboys being hard done by a referee decision this weekend. I'm glad we got the bye. We got the bye at the right time. But my goodness. How can... Oh, God. Someone please explain to me how Cameron Murray's high shot is a sin bin, but Stephen Crichton's one last night isn't. My God. And I've been defending the referees a lot this season. Personally, if I had to rank the referees from round 1 to now, they're probably getting a decent rating from myself. But my goodness, the last 2 weeks have just been diabolical. Absolutely diabolical, man. So they got to get this shit sorted before finals, man. I don't want to see my team, I don't want to see any of your NRL teams get dudded in the finals due to a bad referee decision where someone gets sin binned for a high shot that wasn't even forceful whatsoever. Just because my team's in the finals, obviously I don't want to get ripped off either, but I don't want your team to get ripped off as well. I want everyone to have a good game of rugby league and may the best team win. If you lose, you lose. You review yourself and you pick yourself up next year and you go again. But I don't want to see anyone get ripped off in the finals. My God, it's my biggest concern. I'm happy the Cowboys are in the finals. I'm over the moon. I hope we can do something in the finals as it's a new competition when you think about it. But I don't want to see anyone getting ripped off, man. My God. I've experienced it enough in my lifetime, enough. No more bullshit referee decisions. Referees, please. Graham Annesley is going to have his Monday briefing on Monday. That's going to be his Monday apologies. He'll be live for an hour and a half. Every game he'll have to go through and apologize for one error. I guarantee it. My goodness. Anyway, and I'll say this. If Graham Annesley comes out on Monday and says that one of these sin bins that I think were the wrong call, if he thinks they were correct, you wait till the podcast on Wednesday night. There's going to be a lot to say about that. I'm telling you now. But back to South and Newcastle, 36-16 Knights. I mean, the Knights still a mathematical chance of finals, just like the Broncos and Dolphins. But doesn't really matter if the Dragons win tomorrow, then it's just going to be nearly impossible. Knights will have to win their last two and hope Dragons drop a game or two. So Knights are alive, but it's like it's the same as the Broncos and Dolphins. It's going to be really 50-50 whether they get there. Now, Broncos and Dolphins play next week. Loser of that officially rules themselves out. So that's going to be a big game. But Knights too good here. Thought Kalen Ponga was outstanding in this game. He was terrific. I thought Dane Gagai had an absolute blinder. I thought Jack Cogger was terrific. I thought Saifidi and Leo Thompson were really good. Will Price off the bench, I thought did some really good things as well. But yeah, too good. And for the Bunnies, I thought Jack Whiten was good. I thought Jai Gray tried really hard. Tallis Duncan had a good game. Murray was good. Thought Shaq Mitchell played well as well. But my player of the game, I'm really torn between Cogger and Dane Gagai, but I might go with Dane Gagai, man. Thought he was good, but Jack Cogger, good game from him. He had a point to prove. Jack Cogger's direction, Jack Cogger did more in this game than Tyson Gamble has done in 6 weeks. So if Jack Cogger isn't in the halves for the Knights going forward, then I must be on a different planet of some sort, because Jack Cogger should be in the Knights halves pairing every week. In my opinion, the Knights' best halves combination going forward is Will Price at 6, Jack Cogger at 7, Crossland at 9, and Hastings as 14. I think that's the best Knights. I think that's the best Knights team for them. I really do. But this is where the review is going to come to an end, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to get on out of here, man. I'm gonna go watch some Premier League. I believe Brighton versus Manchester United's on at the moment, so might go have a look at that. The Super League on tonight as well. I think Salford are playing at like 2 a.m. I think Saints and Hull KR's at midnight, so I'm going to try and watch back-to-back games with the Premier League on my laptop. So should be a good night of sport, man. Can't wait, man. A lot of good sport on tonight. But thanks for watching the review, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you guys tomorrow for the Sunday football review. Until then, take care, everyone. If your team won, congratulations. If your team lost, then better luck next time. But enjoy the rest of your night, guys. See you tomorrow. Cowboys are playing finals. Let's go. Yeehaw!